Episode 16. Yet, Han Li's sharp sixth sense told him that the other party had not truly abandoned his designs. He had merely, and quite cleverly, concealed his true desires. This only deepened Han Li's weariness toward Dr. Mo. Under these circumstances, how could he possibly dare to let the other party know the bottle's secret? From the many history books he'd read, Han Li had learned one ironclad lesson. Never harbor the intent to harm others, but never let your guard down against them either.
Whether Dr. Mo truly means me harm, or I'm just being paranoid, staying on my guard around him can't be a bad thing. If he truly has ill intentions, then staying on guard will keep me from getting hurt. If I'm wrong, there's nothing wrong with staying on my guard. I could never do something as treacherous as betraying my master. I'm still Dr. Mo's good disciple, and I'll fulfill my filial duties properly.
Even with that thought, Han Li still felt a lingering unease in his heart. A master-disciple pair as strange as Dr. Mo and I must be one of a kind in the Seven Mysteries sect. He couldn't help but sigh.
I absolutely cannot use the bottle again after Dr. Mo returns. There are no walls in this world that don't leak. Even if I'm lucky enough to avoid Dr. Mo, someone else from the Chiswan sect could stumble upon my secret. The safest thing is to put it away and act like this never happened.
Han Li had made his decision. He resolved to keep the bottle a secret, hidden away, and never to use it lightly again. A wave of relief washed over him, and he drifted off into a deep sleep on the bed. Over the next few months, Han Li secretly used the green liquid from the bottle to cultivate a large batch of precious medicinal herbs. He used these herbs to concoct a number of rare medicines according to the recipes, though the process was fraught with failures. Each failure made Han Li's heart ache for a long time.
But you can't really blame me for that. It was my first time mixing these formulas. A few failures were bound to happen. Even Dr. Mo himself would botch a batch or two if he were mixing these drugs.
Han Li could only console himself this way. Before Han Li lay a dozen small bottles, each containing a rare and precious elixir: yellow dragon pills, azure spirit powder, golden marrow pills, and nourishing essence pills. Han Li couldn't help but beam with joy at the sight of these medicine bottles.
With these miraculous pills, mastering the 4th level of the incantation will be a breeze. I won't even need to strain much to reach the 5th or 6th level.
Of all these medicines, the yellow dragon pill and the golden marrow pill would be the most beneficial for his cultivation. Both possessed the wondrous ability to enhance one's power and bring about a complete physical transformation. As for the green spirit powder, it's a rare and sacred antidote, capable of neutralizing hundreds of the world's deadliest poisons. As for the nourishing essence pill, it's a miraculous elixir effective against both internal and external injuries. No matter how severe the wound, taking just one pill can't bring the dead back to life or instantly heal you, but it will drastically reduce the damage and save your life. Han Li hadn't originally planned to prepare those last two medicines, which had nothing to do with martial training. But after careful consideration...
After all, I'm practically a man of the martial world. Who knows when disaster might strike, or when I'll get dragged into some bloody conflict. It's better to have some good antidotes and healing medicines ready in advance. If I got poisoned or wounded and died just because I didn't have the right medicine, wouldn't that be a total waste?
After thinking it over, Han Li prepared a small amount of the latter two medicines to carry with him, just in case. After all, Han Li had no desire to die young. On the very day the pill was completed, Han Li followed the instructions on the formula and took one yellow dragon pill and one gold marrow pill. These two medicines truly lived up to their legendary reputation as divine elixirs. With their astonishingly potent power, he effortlessly broke through the bottleneck that very night, mastering the 4th layer of the incantation. The moment he reached the 4th layer, Han Li immediately experienced a sensation completely different from before. His 5 senses exploded, elevating him to an incredible new realm. Suddenly, everything in his vision became dazzlingly bright and crystal clear. Things that were once imperceptibly fine were now crystal clear. Even the finest spiderwebs in the corners of the room were now perfectly clear. His hearing became incredibly sharp. A flood of sounds, both familiar and strange, rushed into his ears.
Like the rustling of an earthworm burrowing dozens of yards away, or the buzzing of some unknown insect flying past the front of the house. These sounds seemed to ring right in his ears, so vivid and crystal clear.
On top of that, strange smells that suddenly appeared also let Han Li know his sense of smell was vastly different from before. Han Li was both shocked and delighted.
The previous few levels of cultivation did sharpen my senses somewhat, but none of them brought about a change as stark, as profound as the fourth layer. This is a fundamental qualitative leap. It's like I've become a completely different person. My body feels much lighter than before, and my mind has made significant strides. I could probably go 3 or 5 days without sleep now, and it wouldn't be a problem.
Han Li savored the completely new sensations within his body. Standing perfectly still, he could now perceive everything happening within a radius of dozens of yards.
This feeling of being able to control everything left Han Li utterly captivated and unwilling to let it go.
Realizing only now do I understand that reaching the fourth layer of this mantra is where one truly begins to grasp its essence. If the fourth layer has such an unforgettable flavor, what wondrous sensations would the fifth and sixth layers bring?
Not long after Han Li grasped the profound mysteries of his cultivation technique, his nominal master, Dr. Mo, returned to the valley. He didn't come back alone. He brought a mysterious figure with him. The moment Dr. Mo entered the Valley of the Godly Hand, Han Li heard the familiar sound of coughing from a distance.
At that moment, Han Li was meditating in the stone chamber, striving to advance his cultivation to the next level as soon as possible.
Sensing Dr. Mo's approach, he quickly circulated his energy, concluded his cultivation, and stepped out of the stone chamber. He headed toward the valley entrance to pay his respects to the master he hadn't seen in a year. The moment Han Li saw Dr. Mo, he was shocked. It was the same man, but the face that met his eyes was ashen and utterly lifeless.
Before, he had always looked sallow and sickly, but never to this extent. Now his vitality seemed utterly spent, as if his time had truly come.
But what truly shocked Han Li was the mysterious figure trailing behind him. The person was completely concealed in a voluminous green robe, with a black hood pulled low. This person was exceptionally tall and burly, towering over Han Li by a full 2 heads, with a massive frame like that of a giant spirit god. But because the figure wore a hood, Han Li couldn't make out his face clearly. He could only vaguely sense that the man's features must be hideously fierce and exceptionally ugly.
Suppressing his questions, Han Li quickly stepped forward and bowed to Dr. Mo.
Master.
He then stood respectfully to the side, awaiting Dr. Mo's questions.
How is your cultivation of the mantra progressing? Any progress at all?
It's the same as before. No real change.
Han Li had no intention of telling the other person about his cultivation. He couldn't explain his miraculously rapid progress. How could he, without any external aid, have suddenly and miraculously jumped from the early stage of the 3rd layer to the 4th?
Show me your hand.
Dr. Mo's expression darkened, and his tone turned hard. Han Li noticed Dr. Mo's expression, and his heart skipped a beat, a faint unease stirring within him. But he wasn't afraid of the other man personally checking his pulse to probe the state of his internal energy. Because after reaching the 4th layer, Han Li had discovered, to his surprise, that he could freely manipulate the intensity of that strange energy within him. He could perfectly control it to match the strength of the 3rd layer, allowing him to deceive Dr. Mo's personal inspection. Dr. Mo's face was expressionless, his eyes half-lidded. One hand remained firmly clamped on Han Li's wrist, his entire focus concentrated on the strength of the energy within the boy's body. He remained silent for a long while, for the time it takes to drink a cup of tea. He finally let out a deep breath, as if expelling all the frustration from his heart. His eyes snapped open, a flash of golden light shooting from their murky depths too intense to meet directly.
His face was dark. Dr. Mo was clearly dissatisfied with Han Li, yet he still didn't scold him.
Follow me.
Han Li followed him obediently. He was curious about the mysterious figure nearby, but knew this wasn't the time for casual questions. Once inside the room, Dr. Mo wearily settled into the armchair, leaning back against its support in a half-sitting, half-reclining posture. The golden light in his eyes had faded, leaving behind the familiar, sickly pallor of a long-term invalid. The mysterious figure had been following right behind him, never leaving his side. Once he sat down, the figure took up a position directly behind the chair, standing there rigid and unmoving. Hanley knew Dr. Mo was in a foul mood and had no desire to provoke him. He followed the mysterious man's example, walking to the center of the room. He lowered his head, eyes fixed on Dr. Mo, and stood perfectly still, waiting for the man to speak first.